What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. I'm Jazz.
And I'm Lo.
And this is the Jazz and Lo podcast. Welcome.
So on this podcast, we talk about everyday life experiences from different perspectives, hot topics, and of course, spilling some tea.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and check in. Jazz, how are you?
I'm good. I'm drinking this nitro brew coffee. I've never had it before. I'm not really a big coffee drinker. It's a pretty good.
It's pretty smooth.
It is.
For sure. If
to be
anybody
honest,
needs an immediate get your ass up, this is the one.
Definitely. And I put like maybe 2 pumps of pumpkin. Gotta put that it's October
fall.
1st. Gotta
Speaking
put
of
that like
fall, this whole
love
entire
it.
week it's been super freaking hot.
Oh my gosh, we've been having a heat wave here.
So much
It's
for fall.
It's been 105, I think,
Yeah.
on like Tuesday. It was like 105. Crazy.
Of course. I think the week before that, it was so nice. You could tell it was really
beautiful.
cooling down at night. Yeah.
It was like fall.
It
It
shot right
felt like
back
it was
up.
fall.
Mhm.
But, living in Cali, what can you do?
Of course.
How are you doing, though?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, hey. Good is better than bad.
I mean, a different day, different week.
Mm-hmm.
It's October 1st.
I know, I'm
For
excited.
anybody listening that's going to be
love
listening
October.
to this, it's a few days after the October 1st, but I like the beginning of new months. I actually miss the beginning of months because before COVID, I looked forward to starting a new month.
Exactly.
And I feel like since COVID, I haven't looked at a month like this in a long time thinking, okay, what's my monthly goal?
Right.
And
what am I going to do different this month?
Yeah,
Right.
this month I'm doing a challenge with myself. Well, it can't count today because I obviously spent money. But after starting tomorrow, I'm going to do a no spend challenge.
Oh, I'm going to do that too.
So like no coffees, no going out to eat. Not that we're really doing any of that anyways, but those little kind of splurges like, oh, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to buy that. You know how I like me some Target.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, my goal this month is to not spend. So I'll let you guys know how that goes throughout the week. And then we can go from there.
Well, that's good, though.
Mm-hmm. But of course, let's go ahead and jump into our topic of the day.
I'm a little nervous about it.
Which is extra juicy. It's going to be to cheat or not to cheat. So here we go.
Oh, my goodness. To cheat or not to cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is your definition?
Like my own definition of
cheating? Yeah. If someone asked you, I
don't even know how to explain it.
If a dude, okay, you and Josh just started dating, and he just asked you,
what do I think is cheating?
What do you consider cheating? What is it that I would have to do? Not say have to do, because obviously he wouldn't,
I mean,
but
obviously, hooking up with somebody else, I would definitely consider cheating.
Okay.
I think talking to somebody else is considered cheating.
Mm-hmm. Talking to somebody else, how? Like flirting? Like very,
texting, calling.
Consistently. Like
having conversations. I think they both suck, but yeah, that's probably what I would consider cheating.
Right.
Not being faithful emotionally, physically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Snap.
I know. Speaking of juicy topic, I did not prepare myself, obviously.
I know you were really excited about this topic.
I was, because I want to know everybody else's opinions, but now I'm thinking about my own and I'm thinking, oh shoot. I did not think this through.
No, this is gonna be good.
Okay, go ahead and spill.
Oh,
what do you think it is? Yeah.
For me, cheating is definitely physical and emotional, because I do feel like my whole thing is, if we're in a relationship, and you can look at it from 2 different perspectives. If you feel like you need to hide something from me because you're not too sure how I will react, like, you know what I mean? Because you think it's like I'm gonna be upset about it. It's like, why don't you analyze what you're doing? Pause, stop. And even ask yourself too, like, this is the second perspective of like, if my partner was doing this to me, would I be happy? Would I be okay with it?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is no, or you feel like back to the first point, if you feel like you gotta hide it, 90%, 98% of it, you shouldn't be doing it.
I mean, if you're hiding anything from your partner.
Yeah, like,
I mean, even a friend, you can cheat on a friend easily. If you're hiding
Right.
things like that,
It's just
that
crazy.
I consider cheating for sure.
I do. So, and anything physical, obviously having sex with someone else that's outside of your relationship, holding hands, kissing, even rubbing and just kind of caressing and just like touch, like any type of touch, because I'm very touchy
Oh,
already.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like touch means a lot to me,
Mm-hmm.
when, especially in a relationship. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like if my partner is going ahead and touching somebody else, oh no, we got a problem, honey.
Yeah.
And then also emotionally too, because I feel like if you feel as if you essentially, you know, texting somebody and calling somebody every day, and you feel like you gotta like text them good morning every day, good afternoon, hope you're having a great day, like,
That sounds more painful to me
oh my
than
gosh,
the physical part.
well, because it's a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not saying
Mm-hmm.
physical can't be deep, because I
Mm-hmm.
mean you can obviously make love and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. Like you went into like and built a more of like a mental, and even on sometimes deeper as like spiritual like connection with this person
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that's, yeah, nah, B, that's cheating.
What do you think would hurt your feelings the most, the physical or the emotional?
Mm. That's a good question, because both of them have happened to me. I've been cheated on physically and then cheated on emotionally.
Emotionally?
And I think both sting, both hurt. But I think I'm a Miranda line from Sex and the City. Even if I can justify the physical part, it's the going behind my back. You
Oh,
went behind
yeah.
my back and you lied
Mm-hmm.
to my face and you sat here and played a role of a whole different being.
Mm-hmm.
That hurts.
Yeah, that would be hard to go back to somebody, especially if it's a long-term thing.
Right. And
You
because
know, a
it's like,
couple months, a couple weeks.
right, because I know the conversation is
Yeah.
hard, but I feel like the older we get, it's just kind of like, okay, we should know how to handle like some type of like conflict and some type of like friction.
Mm-hmm.
And if that friction is like me and you are just not connecting on maybe a sexual level, I would hope you would come to me or I would come to you and say, hey, look, like something's feeling a little off. We maybe
Yeah.
need to spice this up a bit. You know what I mean? And do X, Y, and Z before you go ahead and cheat on me. Like,
I mean, but there are a lot of relationships out there where people have in their relationship had a partner that has cheated and they somehow managed to
or
stay
take them back,
together.
right? Has that happened to you?
No.
Oh, it has. I've took somebody back.
I mean, I don't think that I have. No.
I mean, it's not a bad thing.
No, it's none of it's bad. I mean,
Right,
that's
right.
it's your journey with your partner.
Exactly.
Whatever happens, you know, that's that's your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's no one's. No one should be looking at relationships saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be with them," because we don't know what happened. We don't know what was going on in their relationship.
Or what caused it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's so many. It's a very touchy subject.
Right. Agreed.
My own personal opinion though is just physical and emotional. That would be like crossing the line for
But
me.
which one would hurt the most?
Probably the emotional. I do. I think the
I can't
emotional
see
would
that.
hurt me more. Because I would just think to myself, "Oh my gosh, you're now emotionally invested in this person." You know, that'd be really hard to kind of break through for me.
Right.
I don't know if I could ever do that though. If I could be in a relationship and I don't know. I can never say never.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
Because I don't know what happens, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the factors that play into that situation.
Circumstance, right?
But oh man, yeah, I think emotionally that would hurt me the most. That would hurt my feelings the most.
That's
Because I just would want to know, well, what happened, you know, where
right.
did we kind
what
of
made us disconnect?
yeah,
where you
or
feel
you
like
know,
you had to
or
connect
maybe
with
at
someone
that
else.
point maybe it's not savable. You know what I'm saying? It could be so far gone that it's just it is what it is, and you just you break up and move on with your life. But
damn,
have you ever had an incident where you have seen somebody you know, like their significant other, cheat in public?
Like my friend?
Yeah, like your friend's person?
Let me think. Because I want to answer this like honestly and not just say an answer because I just don't remember right now. But Not that I can remember.
Yeah, I've
Thank
never
God.
in my life.
Thank God I've never seen. Yeah, I mean, because talking
I
about
don't even know what
conflict.
I would do. I think I would.
I mean, I
I
can
don't.
have
I mean, I think I would look, and then I would even double check real quick.
right.
And then I think, you know, like when your emotions take over your body, and you're thinking to yourself like, I should not be talking to anybody, and no one should be like seeing me right now, because if
Right.
someone talks to me, I'm just gonna blow
Right,
with
right, right,
emotion.
right.
And you know when you do that and you say things that you should never say
No, I
or
know.
do.
Because you react off emotion. You just
Exactly.
completely just reacted
Exactly.
off of like that one trigger.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, I think if I was collected, not on
But if,
emotions. If I was on emotions, I easily would go up to that guy and I would, say, hey, because we don't know, you know what I'm saying? That
Well, I
person
know.
could be a sibling or
well, true.
a relative
But that's
or
what I'm saying.
something.
But if you're in, let's say let's paint the scenario.
Okay.
You're at a restaurant.
Okay.
You're having dinner.
Mm-hmm.
We're having dinner. We're having dinner.
Mm-hmm.
You look over. You see one of your girlfriends, man, with somebody else. At that moment, what do you do?
I mean, I think I would go up to the table and just say hi. Or if we're walking out, I would definitely walk by and say hello, and have the guy introduce me to whoever the chick is. Or dude, I don't know.
You're saying this very calmly.
I'm just trying to, in my mind, I'm trying to think calm. But I think in the moment I would go up to that table and say, hey. And then whoever they reply with, I even think what I would do, though, I'm not even going to lie to you, is I don't care if they even said, oh, this is my cousin. I would easily text my friend and say, hey, I was at this restaurant. I saw your boyfriend, here with his cousin. I just wanted you to know that I did run into him, because that also can be kind of uncomfortable when your boyfriend goes home and he says, oh, I saw, your friend so-and-so when I was out.
Oh, and then your friend didn't tell.
Exactly.
You right. Yeah. Well, I didn't even think about it from that perspective.
Yeah. So I think play it safe.
Just
and if you just wanted to check in and say, hey, I ran into,
right.
so-and-so, and I totally thought something, and then I went to the table, and then, it was nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And your friend's probably going to giggle and say, I know that they were out or whatever, or,
That's true.
It's totally fine,
Yeah.
like they're just friends. Like, you just never know, but I think I still I would insert myself at the table and just like check in.
Oh, completely.
Hey, and then I would walk away with grace.
Yeah, see, no. Yeah, I'm going to the table. I'm like, hey, how are you? Right. And like even introduce myself to whoever it is. Like, oh my gosh, I'm Jasmine. Like, what's your name, love? I'm so sorry. Like, what is your name? Didn't catch your name. And then look at homie and, like, what the heck is going on? You know what I'm saying? So, but would you want to know?
I mean, of course I would want to know. And I think if anybody that truly knew me that saw that would tell me in the most gentle way possible, because I would be a complete hot mess. And again, I would be responding emotionally and not with a logical way of thinking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think right now, like how I would even.
I would be heartbroken.
I know.
I would be heartbroken. When I told Josh we were doing this topic, he just was like, "What the heck?" And I said, "I know, but there's more to it because it's people's perspectives, and it's not about like." We don't have any really dirty, stories or stuff. We have nothing like that. But I think it's just an interesting topic of how we would handle certain situations.
Yeah, how we would think we would handle it. Because really, in all actuality, in the heat of the moment, who the freak knows?
Yeah, it's not going to be a graceful experience, that's for sure.
It might not, though.
It's not going to be.
I don't know. Because some people might, honestly, at that moment, some people freeze up.
Yeah.
Because another way you can possibly handle it, take a picture, send it to your girl. Hey, yo. Do you know your dude's out with this person?
Yeah.
And if they say yes, cool. If they say no, maybe ask your friend, like, yo, how do you want me to handle this? Should you want me to leave it alone? Or, just let me know. But either way, man. Crazy. This topic is is an interesting one. But according to Urban Dictionary, because I thought their definition was pretty fun, not funny, but just it was thorough.
So but compared to our definition and what the actual definition is,
on
let's see how big the significance isn't.
So
is it? Oh my God, I can't get my words out.
It's all good. It happens.
The difference that it is.
Between our views versus that.
Thank you.
Got you. So it says, someone who is in a committed relationship and breaks the trust of his or her partner by getting physically or emotionally involved with another person. Common forms of cheating include kissing, feeling up on each other, vaginal, anal, oral, or any sexual activities, and any other contact that involves lips, hands, and genitals. Emotional cheating involves forming a close bond with someone of your preferred gender and basically forming a second relationship. This may or may not include physical cheating.
Those both sound terrible.
They sound heartbreaking.
Those both sound terrible.
They sound heartbreaking.
I don't ever want to experience that.
Trust me.
Ever do that to somebody else.
I feel like when you've experienced that, you don't want to inflict that type of pain on somebody. Mm-hmm. Like knowing that I felt that.
Have you been though with somebody though who's been in a relationship before you?
Who's been cheated on?
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, the damage control that has to be done is so crazy because they're hurt,
which is
so
understandable.
bad.
Which is understandable, but that's where I feel like being older now and looking at it, you know, with a different perspective, I think it's just kind of like that's why you have to make sure you do the work to actually heal yourself before you jumping into another relationship, in my opinion. Because the damage control, you're right. It's a lot, dude. Could you imagine?
No, absolutely not.
Oh my gosh, yo. Like I
mean, I think everybody always carries things from their previous relationships to their
Amen.
new one. And then in that relationship, you kind of both have to kind of shake it off a little bit.
Right.
Because there's some things, you can bring in from your past into your other relationships.
True.
But then there are other things where you have to make that decision. Okay, is this what we're doing? Mm-hmm. Because that's not really fair. You know what I'm saying? To bring in what happened to you. I mean, it makes sense to tell that person, hey, I've been through this. This is what I've experienced. Because then you'll kind of know why they think this way. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if they're to a point where it's just they don't trust you and they're looking at your phone and it's getting just out of control, I mean, that person needs to heal first before they get into a relationship. That's what I think.
True. Or the other person, you know, who's, you know, on the end of not really having any type of like cheating, you know, dealing with that type of pain. Like if they want to be like, okay, cool, like look, I get it, you were cheated on in another relationship, if going through my phone makes you feel comfortable, fine. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? There might be some people that are cool with it, you know what I mean? I don't
know, it's a very touchy subject for sure, but I went ahead and did a little bit of research with Glamour, and it says that we all know that cheating is wrong, obviously, but some people still do it. So why do people cheat? They went ahead and asked 11. They have 11 answers from men and women on some of the reasons, and I figured we would kind of talk about them and then
I like that.
See if, you know, they're like valid or not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, none of them are valid.
Or just kind of like, can you understand from that situation?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. More kind of the perspective. So this one is from why men have cheated. Mm-hmm. The first one is, for the first time, women were hitting on me. And then after that, there's kind of like a little bio. Okay. So just by that quote, for the first time, women were hitting on me.
I mean, hey, I mean, if that's the reason, but then I would question, like, well, wait a minute, hold on. How'd you get in a relationship if no woman has hit on you before? One. Mm-hmm. Two, I mean, unless you've missed being in that relationship, you missed that whole, like, ooh, let me see if I still got it type of feeling, you know? Because I remember an ex cheating on me because of that. They told me, for real, they literally, we were still in a relationship and we had like that really transparent conversation. They were just saying like, I low key just wanted to see if I still had it.
I think I do think that's definitely a thing. I think though, the key words that I'm getting from this is, for the first time that women were hitting on me. This is a guy too, by the way. This is a guy's perspective.
Right.
So I think, I'm trying to put myself in his shoes that
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And obviously it has the bio right here. It says, I cheated on my girlfriend because I could. I never had a lot of sexual options through high school and college, but after school, I really hit my stride. For the first time, women were hitting on me, and I was drunk on a feeling. One night, I let it go too far, and I slept with a woman at a party. I didn't tell my girlfriend it happened, but broke up with her on a trumped up fight instead. DH 28.
Oh, gosh.
I know. I mean, okay, yeah, this seems like this is very common.
That situation. Wait, what's common? Before I go ahead and like comment.
Well, no, it doesn't say that they were dating that long, but
you didn't really give a time frame.
High school, college, they kind of, I don't know.
You were in a committed relationship that whole time. You didn't really get to experience it from a
maybe that, and maybe too,
like,
he didn't feel confident. Didn't have that confidence until after school where he was really taking care of himself.
Maybe.
And he kind of was like, oh, I don't know what this is. I don't know how to handle this new attention. He should have just broken up with her, done his exploring on his own, and then, maybe gone back to her if they would have.
Right, like he could have broken up with her before. He could have. But we're all human, and I don't think like sometimes people, like you say, we sometimes react off emotions. Exactly. Sometimes, so.
But broke up with her instead on a fight instead of telling her. So that's kind of, that's kind of a lame one.
I don't really want to tell you, and I don't really want you finding out. So let me just pull this cord. Right?
Yeah, that's not cool.
Oh, damn.
Another one from a male is, I was seeking something that I was not getting in my marriage. Oh, Lord. Marriage. Oh,
that's hard. I mean, because I'm not married, so I can't really speak on that. But but I will say this really quick though, to our audience and everything. Men, I want to hear you guys' perspective on this. That's for sure. Women too, but I want to know. Like, I want to dive deeper in a man's mind
on cheating.
This. Well, just kind of like, what's their perspective on hearing another man's excuse or a story?
Oh, that's very good. That's a very good question. Dang.
You know what I mean?
We may have to have a part 2.
Because it's just kind of like,
I love that.
Is this an excuse or is this genuine? Because I can only go off so much. I'm a woman. I have a woman's mind. I don't have a man's brain. I haven't experienced a man's life before. Like, living in his shoes. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I can guarantee that we're going to read these women's. And we're going to be like, I know. Sister, honey, that was a mother effing excuse.
Oh, I know.
I get you. But
no,
hey,
you know what? That's actually touche.
You know what I'm saying?
That was a very good point.
I'm just curious.
No.
You know me. I like to
I do like thinking, though, outside of the box a little bit with this. So,
It says, both times I was seeking something that I was not getting in my marriage, sex, love, and affection. The absolute truth is that I could have likely had all these things I was seeking in my affair with my wife. It was a lack of effort and too much old programming that led me to believe otherwise. Dawn, 29.
Oh, so it sounded like it was more if like the relationship got really routined. Now that I can see. When it gets routined and stuff like that.
Yeah, but in a marriage, though,
it happens. It's a relationship.
And you don't talk to your partner about. I don't know. You know what? Again, this is hard.
Go ahead, but you have to be honest.
I don't want to speak too much on it, but also at the same time, I think.
Give your perspective,
marriage, though.
Right,
because you hold marriage with somebody, you better be checking in. And doing your check-ins, like, are you good? Am I good? Mm-hmm. How are we doing as a couple? What can we do to be better, And then there are moments where even those check-ins don't work. Right. Sometimes things just kind of, like, blow up a little bit, and until that kind of settles and you two sit down and talk to one another and figure out what you need, because people grow.
Right, that's
24/7. You're not the same person you were when you got married.
True.
But I mean, I would really hope that this person talked to his wife and said, I really am kind of, wanting to do this, and that. And then if there's kind of no response back, I could see why he did that.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know her story.
I don't either.
Dang, Glamour.
But like you said, people grow. But some people grow apart in a marriage too. Like, you know what I mean?
True.
So that's the other thing.
The work that it takes I always hear that all the time. A lot of comments is it takes a lot of work to be in a marriage.
That, but also I just feel like too, both parties need to want to work at it. You know what I'm saying? Like if one wants it and one doesn't, or just gives up with it, it's just kind of like I can see room for infidelity. It's not. I don't think it's justifiable, but I can.
So here's another one. We're gonna go ahead and do the women's.
We're gonna do a woman.
We did 2 men, and we'll try to get 2 women in here. So why women have cheated. This one says, I needed a way to end it.
Sister girl.
She says that I fell out of love and was too scared to tell him and too embarrassed to admit to myself that the relationship was done. I needed a way to end it by making him end it for me. Gloria 34.
Okay, this is Gloria 34.
She was 34 years old.
I needed a way to end it.
Damn. I mean, I can.
No.
I don't agree.
This is okay. This is gonna come off really, really harsh. This is lazy.
We're kind of scared. I can see her being scared. I mean,
she says that she was scared.
So did she get caught? I wondered, did she get caught?
She was just too scared and too embarrassed to admit to herself that the relationship was done. So she needed a way to get out. So she cheated.
And then told him, oh, hey, I cheated on you, rather than just telling him I don't want to do. Damn.
I don't know.
But you know what, though? Oh.
I know. See? This is tricky.
Because it's just kind of like I can see it. I can see it happening for sure. I've known people that have done that too. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you might be in a relationship and the other person, you might have told them plenty of times, like, hey, look, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. But they're just kind of like, no, we're going to make this work, yada, 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 X, Y, and Z.
Shoot. I didn't even think about that.
And then the person who's thinking about cheating is kind of like, well, damn, like, okay, I see you wanting to fight, but I'm not really in this, and I don't want to break your heart even more because I'm already telling you how I feel, which I know is hurting you, but damn, I'm not happy, so let me go find my little piece of happiness just for a moment, do my thing, but that's not even right either, though, because really you're digging that knife in more and more and more, so it's still wrong, but at the same time, I can understand. I can see it.
Well, Gloria 34, I wish she would have ended it instead of doing what you did, but
hey, I mean, it is what it is. If you felt like that was the best thing, then
the struggle is real.
But dang, yeah, ooh.
That sounded rough.
Oh, I would want to hear the rest of that story.
I know, for sure.
Be like a fly on that wall.
So here's another one. So we were emotionally incompatible. We were emotionally incompatible.
Well, that kind of goes into what the whole, like,
That seems like another one.
That's
like the same one we just read. Right. Well, let's go ahead and skip that. That sounds pretty similar.
You know what I mean?
This one says, to get my needs met. Would you like to hear more? I felt dissatisfied with the romance/sex in the relationship, even if it was a stable and loving one. There ended up being a lot of tension as he expected me to do all the work to make our relationship spark again, didn't lift a finger, didn't communicate with me, and didn't really react when I did try. Eventually, I got tired of bothering and slept with someone else to get my needs met. K32.
See, men aren't the only ones that cheat because of that.
See, now her quote, though, to get my needs met, and then after reading her paragraph, jeez, this sounds like a hot mess.
But that just shows you, though, because a lot of the times people think that just men cheat because they're just sexually dissatisfied or they're not happy in a relationship because maybe they feel like their needs aren't met. You know what I'm saying? But this goes to show women go through the same thing. Women want to be pleased too. Like Summer Walker said, girls need love too. You know what I mean? But for her, it wasn't just sexual.
Dissatisfied. And then, there was a lot of tension in this one. That she tried.
I've been trying. He
expected her to do all the work. Keyword spark again. He didn't even do anything. It sounded like they also weren't compatible.
From her perspective, I would definitely want a little bit more background because you know how what they say about a story. There's one side, another side.
I wonder if they broke up because it doesn't say if they broke up or not. It just says it.
I don't know. Some people survive cheating. Some relationships do. You know what I mean? And sometimes this might sound really crazy. You know that quote? What is it by Marilyn Monroe? I think it goes something around like along the lines of sometimes things need to fall apart to come back together, or something like that. I can't really like. I'm paraphrasing the quote, but sometimes cheating and going through like a hard time, sometimes unfortunately on someone else's emotional expense, you know, it can bring you guys back together in a closer, more transparent way, because now it's like, okay, now we're talking about the nitty gritty of feelings of how I feel, how you feel, and all that. So, but what's your take on it?
Even. I'm just.
I feel like you're in shock sitting over there.
No, I mean, it totally makes sense. To get my needs met, I felt dissatisfied with the romance/sex in the relationship, and even if it was stable and a loving one. That's where I'm getting confused. So even if it was a stable and loving one.
So it was a, well, okay, now
is she even talking about this certain relationship, or is she talking about it doesn't matter, even if I'm in a stable and loving one, I felt dissatisfied?
Well, stable. Yeah, no, I'm a little, now you got me confused.
Yeah, because it says, dude, you all think I'm reading this wrong, because I feel like, no, there's no way.
Because it's like she first started off saying like,
I felt dissatisfied with the romance/sex in the relationship, even if it was a stable and loving one. There ended up being a lot of tension, and he expected me to do all the work to make our relationship spark again, and it didn't. And he didn't lift a finger. Didn't communicate with me, and didn't really react when I tried. Eventually, I got tired of bothering and slept with someone else to get my needs met. This sounds like,
I think there was a lack of like appreciation there.
And communication.
Right, but I'm saying she probably felt a lack of appreciation of all of her efforts to try to make it work. You know what I mean? From a sexual,
man, it's not a one-way
emotional.
street. It's a two-way street.
Right. No, it's true though. But think about it. If I'm constantly sitting here trying to show you, hey, Lauren, like, what about this? What about that? I want to make you happy. I want to make us happy.
Oh, that's exhausting.
I want to make you happy. I want to make us happy. But you're not even confirming or like,
I see you, K32.
You know what I mean? Validating my efforts or anything, acknowledging my efforts. And you know what I mean? So it's like maybe that's why. I hope people don't think just because I'm like justifying people's cheating.
No, I think you're just being optimistic and you actually want to like.
I want to look at this whole situation full circle and not just bash the person that cheated. Like, you know what I mean? Because I get it. I understand. And I think that's just what makes me like really understand.
Again, we're not marriage therapists. Like, no, we're not, couples in therapy.
I mean, I don't think you should cheat. I don't. Because again,
but these situations do kind of spark like, well, why do people cheat? You know what I'm saying? It's just different perspectives. But let's swing back into the male perspective. This one says, this one says the opportunity to something different in bed
presented itself.
The opportunity to something different in bed. The main two reasons were the excitement I got from the chase leading up to the cheat, and the opportunity to do something in bed that my girlfriend objected to. John 34.
I've heard that a lot. I've heard scenarios like that.
Why are you with somebody though if you're not compatible?
Sexually satisfied. Well, that's where then you kind of because you know how some people value sex.
Make it full circle for me.
Well, you know how some people value sex in a relationship. And then there's some people that say, oh, well, the sex is good. The sex is good. If it's not, it's not. In that situation, one probably valued it more than the other. And one was probably, again, it's not right. It's not right. But I don't know, man. It sounded like they saw an opportunity and just freaking went for it. But I don't think that should be like, I don't know. I'm not too sure,
The opportunity, though. Ew. I had the opportunity to, like...
The opportunity.
That sounds like you're talking about a job. Like, I had the opportunity to do this, and I did it. No, dude.
No, I agree. Like, go find some other opportunity.
Break up with your girlfriend, and please
Find somebody that's more compatible instead
but
of
then it's like,
hurting.
what if you like this person, you love them so much, you love everything about them, you guys have great communication, great chemistry, you guys have fun, you guys play, you do X, Y, and Z, and sex might be not a big deal for your partner, but for you it's everything, and you feel like there's not that sexual spark there physically.
Is this after you've told your partner?
Doesn't matter, after, before, anything, but just say like, just with that, knowing that.
But if your needs aren't being fulfilled, you've got to communicate with your partner.
So, but what if you communicate and they're still not met?
I don't know then. That's where I'm stumped.
See, that's where I'm saying. So that's where would you break up with this person?
Oh, I do not know. I do not know.
Or would you, you know?
Dang, Jas&C, you're turning this like,
No, but
you're making me think outside of the box, and I'm like second guessing myself. I'm like, oh no, wait, shoot.
Because that's hard.
No, you're right. Well, here's
but then
another
you shouldn't
one.
feel stuck either, just because of that also. But I don't think you should go ahead and cheat. I genuinely think you should try everything you can to spice it up, to make it pleasurable for you both.
Hey, you know what? Maybe John 34 did.
Or maybe, who knows? Maybe.
But I don't like the way that he says the two main reasons were excitement and the chase leading up to the cheat. That does not sound like that's his needs. That sounds like he likes the thrill of it. And that's a different thing. So
that's a good
listen,
point.
y'all, I'm reading these and I'm trying to interpret every little bit of these things.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Touche.
All right, here's another one. This is also a male's perspective or a male's comment. What we wanted out of our sex life was very different. That sounds really similar to the last one.
Right, but isn't it interesting though? It's how it's all coming down to sex. It's all coming down to something physical. So just by reading off the ones, or just kind of like analyzing the ones we've read so far, most of them were sexual cheating.
True.
Versus emotionally.
So I guess this guy, what we wanted out of our sex life was very different. He went ahead and said, we had some issues in our relationship that had been slowly pushing us apart. She was steadily becoming more religious, and what we wanted out of our sex life was very different. And we were operating on a long distance relationship. Oh,
damn.
Oh, that just rocked our world.
Right. Well, because I think too, we've both seen like the effects of long distance relationships, and like the toll. You know, you've seen me go through mine, so
yeah, that's rough.
Especially when you already have like problems, and then add the distance with it too.
I wonder what the religion though thing was. I wonder what that had to do with it.
That's true. Like if she decided to, you know, become like celibate, you know, wanted to wait before marriage, or what the case possibly could have been. But
I don't know, but I would love to know more about that one.
Right. No, same. But dang, I get it. If you guys don't have like no, especially because if you don't have a good communication system going on between you, like the both of you, and you have distance, like if you don't have that capability to communicate your guys' feelings and come to a resolution where both of you guys feel respected and like on the same page at the end of the day, that distance just creates that space.
Well, and too, I think like there must have been a lot of change going on there, that he kind of knew that they weren't gonna, you know, end up. He knew that they weren't gonna end up being together if they clearly were not agreeing on religion. That's a huge deal.
Yeah, it can be,
and that can cause quite a rift in a relationship if you're not on the same page with it. So, I don't know, that seems like not understandable. None of these are understandable. We're not
right, because we're not condoning cheating.
We're not condoning cheating, but
it.
I just think it's interesting, like the things that people say regarding cheating,
of why they did it.
Yeah,
just like what pushed them to the edge to go
yeah,
ahead and
exactly.
jump and cheat and like into the cheating pool. Dang, yo, dang.
No, I get it though.
I mean, I'm intrigued to see what part 2 is going to bring.
Yeah, with a guy male perspective.
Yeah, part 2. I think
we're going to work on that as soon as possible.
For real, because
as soon as possible.
We got to get that going.
I want a guy's perspective on these so bad. And we actually can pick some new ones too.
Right.
Yeah, we'll pick some new ones and say, like, what's your perspective? Like, what would make a guy, think this way or do this or whatever.
Exactly. And maybe read off like one or two that we read that from a dude's perspective, just to see if like it matched. So you can go back and forth between our podcast from today and then the new one with the guys.
Exactly.
To see like just what a man and a woman's perspective on it was from that. Like,
exactly.
From the situation.
I love that.
So, yeah.
I think that's a wrap.
I think so. Episode 6, yo.
What a journey it has been.
Man, but I love it though. I love it. And thank you guys for, all the support and, showing that consistent love for
always,
us.
Always.
So we absolutely appreciate you guys so much.
So with that said, we're going to go ahead and do our weekly shout out, which goes to Katie Steckley. I have like a total crush on her right now. I think she's amazing, and she always posts like really super positive things on her Instagram.
She really does.
And she also posts amazing tutorials on her YouTube page as well, just totally relating podcast strategy and Instagram strategies. So if anybody's looking out for some support and lessons that you need to learn, she is the one you're going to want to go to. Her Instagram is Katie Steckley, KatieSteckly. Also, don't forget that all of our episodes are coming to you on Saturdays by 5 o'clock. So our next episode will be coming to you on October 10th. Thanks again for joining us, and stay tuned. Also, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram at Jas&Lo Podcast. Bye, guys.
Toodles.
Just wanna show you something.